Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time.
When you add a shake of Frank's Red Hot, you open a world of better. A world where wings bring out the flavor of game day any day. Where buffalo chicken dip takes any party up a notch. And where any slice of pizza instantly becomes the world's best slice of pizza. At least until the next slice. Bring every bite to life with the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that shit on everything.
Hello. Welcome to the Bird Brain Podcast, where the goal is to rise above it all, stay elevated, create that infinity, and up your you. I'm your host, Isaiah, and this is just a little soft opening, guys. A little soft opening. This is the Bird Brain Podcast birthday month, and he turns 4 on July 31st, and I don't know, y'all. I've been kicking myself. It's been hard to take a break and stay away from you guys for entirely too long. So here we are, and it feels good to just be doing this again. Like it's crazy to just sit here and record again. And I don't know how long it's been. It feels like it's been forever, but I think it's only been a couple of weeks. And in that time, it's definitely been a lot of journeying and processing a ton. And one of the things I kept coming back to was what makes me feel good. And this is just going to be a straight through podcast because, like I said, this is like a soft opening. But one of the things that I realized and I want to share with you guys is, when you're going through things and you're going through a process, and you kind of just want the world to stop. Right? You want the world to stop in such a way it feels like the room is spinning around you, and you're not in control. Right? There's so many things happening. You feel like you're overwhelmed. You're trying to come up for air, but you have to keep swimming at the same time, and you're getting tired and fatigued and all this other stuff. And you just want to take a step back. You just want to drop everything. The beautiful thing about getting to that point, I will say personally, is that you always figure out what's important to you. What's the most important thing to you? Who is important to you? Who you're important to, and how that is a beautiful reminder of just your essence. You know what I'm saying? There's a song I've been listening to called "At My Worst," and it's just a vibe, right? I've just been vibing to it, but I love the lyric of just like "at my worst," And even at your worst moments, like your lowest points, I think that's when you have the opportunity to hold yourself in the highest regard. The highest regard. You have to, right? Because when you hit that point, and I'm just talking in general, like just sharing this with you guys. If you're ever going through this point where you feel like you're just at a lull, and you have nowhere to go, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it just feels like everything's kind of like coming down on you. You have no choice but to get up, right? Your last choice, your last resort is to get through it. It's so weird, right? But like sometimes you have to really get to, they say rock bottom to just kind of come up. To work your way up and to reconfigure things, reevaluate everything. And, I'll be honest with you. I think every time there's a rebirth, like the phoenix, right? Every time, you rise from the ashes, there's a different level of understanding and I think appreciation for yourself if you were doing the work. And you say, how can I take better care of myself this time? Right? How can I be more mindful this time? And, one thing I will say is like, first of all, shout out to a new Patreon. Got a new Patreon. Shout out to Renee, Miss Renee. Thank you for becoming a Patreon supporter. Definitely appreciate the love. Even while taking a break is like, you guys, a lot of you guys have reached out to me via like TikTok or like IG saying, hey, I love your stuff. But one of the things I really did appreciate is some of you guys were like, hey, I understand that you need to take a break. I understand you're taking time for yourself. And I really want to just emphasize that. And I want to say thank you, one, to the people who reached out, but also to the people who were, in their own way, just looking out for me, right? In their own way, were respecting my boundary, but like just being very thoughtful of that. Because for me, I was like, well, shit, I don't want to just like, slack off and do whatever. Meanwhile, I haven't been slacking off. I got something in the mix for you guys. Um, and I've been still at work, just working through life, just trying to do my thing. And so it hasn't really been a break. I've just been trying to figure out how can I, just come back better, right? How can I offer up something that you guys are going to take with you? Like, oh man, what do I need to change? What do and truth be told, this is year 4 of the podcast, and sometimes you need to revamp, right? Because something isn't working. But I'm so grateful this has been working. I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful because I sometimes get this thing or this idea in my head, whether it's my own idea or somebody else's, of like, oh, you need to change something now. Like, now it's time to change, otherwise people are going to get bored. And it's like, I'm just talking about life. And for me, my life is not boring. Like, life for me is not boring. If anything, I don't seek out a lot of stimulation just because, my inner world is always on. It's so funny. I'll share this with you guys. So I had this dream. I had a dream where there was this one guy who happened to be a podcaster. And he says in the dream, he was like, yeah, I gave it up now because I realized that's not for me. He was like, I took a break from it and I realized I'm just done with it. And it's so trippy, y'all. I'll be real with you. Waking up from that dream made me want to record. Made me want to drop an actual episode. I was like, that's weird. I'm going to go drop an episode. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I really wanted to do this because I was like, for me, too much time has passed. And like I said, when I started out this podcast, it was just a way to say things out loud. Say things out loud, get in the habit of, articulating thoughts, and not every thought, not every feeling needs to be intellectualized. But what I've understood and what I do value is that, what I talk about has helped other people be able to kind of like give their feelings a thought. Because sometimes we are in this space of like, I don't know how I feel. And it's like, what if you do know how you feel, but you don't want to say it out loud because you've never had the space to talk about how you feel, or your feelings were never really valued or acknowledged. So it's like your confusion comes from the fact that people haven't really created space. So you've had to constantly go back and forth about, well, do I feel this? Oh, that's not so bad. Oh, you're making a big deal. Oh, it's not that deep. Oh, you're going to push people away. Oh, you're going to do this. Like, always kind of doing this, what's the word I'm looking for? This minimizing yourself, constantly doing that. And when you do that, you are basically, your feelings are always going to be your feelings, right? They're like, well, I'm still going to feel the way that I feel. Regardless of what kind of verbiage you give, I'm still going to feel this way. I'm still going to be here, damn it. I matter, right? So starting out this podcast, and as I continue to do this podcast, the goal is to just have a conversation, y'all. There's no groundbreaking stuff here. In my opinion, it's just like, these are my thoughts. These are my experiences. This is how I've been working through things. And if it does help you, I'm grateful, right? That's the byproduct. But in order for it to do that, I have to be real with myself too, right? I have to be present with my feelings. And I'm a thinker, right? Thinker and a feeler, but sometimes I will think through my feelings, and that's not always good. One of the things I said recently is like, I don't think I really give myself space to be angry that often. Like to feel anger, you know what I'm saying? And it's a natural feeling. I don't have to act on the anger, but just to feel and recognize that I'm angry about certain things or certain experiences is important. And I recognize, I was like, I don't let myself be angry that often. There's that quote that says, when you know too much psychology, you understand why people do the things they do. And you know what? I'll be real with you guys. Like, I've made the mistake or habit of justifying behaviors that Isaiah Frizzell did not deserve to be on the receptive end of. And I've kind of learned to stop doing that in such a way of like, if I recognize that what I'm experiencing is not just I'm not being treated well, fair and well in my head are different, right? Because everybody says life isn't fair. But if somebody is actively making the choice to mistreat me, whether it's in communication, knowing that I deserve better and they're still kind of treating me however they want, I adjust. And, my anger can be simply awareness, but also being like, yeah, I'm angry. That shit is not cool. I don't like that. And I go back and forth with it, but you know what? I do recognize when I finally decide that I'm angry about something, it passes, but I also stop giving out passes. And sometimes that's necessary. Don't let the world tell you how much you should be able to take or how forgiving you need to be when it comes to how you're being treated, because they're not experiencing that. A lot of times they're the ones dishing it out, right? And they're, quick to tell you how you should deal with things. But, one of the things we're going to talk about is like, forgiveness in future episodes, like what forgiveness looks like actually versus what is preached. Because I did a TikTok on that and people were ready to square up. And it's like, hit dogs holler, if I have to constantly forgive you for something, then eventually I'm going to move away from you because you're taking my forgiveness as a free pass to continue to perpetuate certain poor behavior. And we ain't doing that. That's for damn sure. So yeah, I think, moving forward, I'm just going to, double down on, certain topics that I think people are big on, relationships being a big one. I feel like friendship is becoming more of a conversation, which I think is super necessary. Like, everybody wants to have the perfect marriage in a romantic relationship, but it's like, take a look at your friendships first. Because if somebody is a trash ass friend, that's usually how they're going to translate into being a spouse. And sometimes, not the case. People get into relationships and they kind of dismiss their friends altogether. And that in itself is kind of telling. But yeah, it's all kind of like encompassing, and it's just like things I do want to double down on as we move forward. But I couldn't let another day pass without just checking in with you guys and hoping that your heart is good, but also, saying vocally, for the people who have reached out, like, whether it's TikTok, email, Instagram, whatever, and, really be like, hey, miss your stuff. I understand you're taking a break, but hope you come back soon. That's real shit. I want to tell you guys from the bottom of my heart, that's real. And like I said, I really appreciate some of you guys being very respectful of my space and, just me kind of taking care of myself, because being a coach, right? Being a content creator, being all these things at once, literally, it's a lot. And a lot of times people don't understand how hard you work because they're not doing your work and they don't see you, right? They just see what you produce. And, for myself, I don't always see how much I'm working or what I'm working through at the same time. And that's just what it's been for me. I've been doing my best to be present while still having to endure and adjust to a lot of things. And it's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. And I'm grateful for my resilience, but it's like, I don't want to be in this space of life anymore where I'm constantly being tested to the brink. I don't deserve that. Yes, I'm a strong individual and I could take a lot, but I'm in the season, which may be a permanent season, climate change, damn it, where I'm not taking more than what I ask for, if that makes sense. Um, big time climate change, and I'm cool with that because I don't think we're meant to experience or endure life as much as we should be experiencing it, and that's just kind of where I am. And I'm gonna stay there. Because I've done the work. I continue to do the work. And, a lot of the times the people that are telling you what you should and shouldn't do are people who haven't done any work. And that's just it. So at your worst, that is the best opportunity to take a good look at yourself and say, hey, you're fucking dope. All right. Just wanted to, tap in with you guys and say, hope you guys are doing well. We're on our way back. And yes, I got something to share with you guys for this little birdie's birthday. I always like celebrating this podcast birthday. It's such a little, oh man, it's so sweet. It's this is my baby, and he turns 4 the end of this month. And man, I don't know, man. It's just something that I'm grateful to be present for, I guess, but also to be responsible for. And it just says a lot. And this nest has been growing thanks to you guys. Like, this nest just seems to keep getting bigger and bigger, and there's more little birdies coming to hang out and just chill and chirp. And they get their wings. They get their wings, and they're able to fly a little bit higher, or they're migrating to better environments. And that's beautiful. It's one of those things where it's like, home is really anywhere. Home is really anywhere that you make it. But the fact that you guys have made home with this podcast is a huge deal. So, yep, just wanted to pop in, say what's up. And yeah, I'll be dropping a full episode next week. Or what is it? Yeah, next week. And yeah, I think that's about it. Is there any homework? No. If you want to become a Patreon, you get exclusive content. You get early access to episodes, or Apple subscriber, Flight Club. We don't talk about Flight Club. So you can subscribe through Patreon, through Flight Club. I do want to do something where I have my subscribers, like we do like a monthly like live or something like that, where we could all kind of just chill. I think that'd be sick. Something dope, or like a movie night, something. I don't know. I really do want to like do something dope for my subscribers, because, you guys are investing into this podcast, and that is, I don't know. That just means the world, and is more than you know. You know what I'm saying? And you guys deserve to know and understand that you're appreciated in return. So I'm going to figure out something dope to do for that. Actually, if you're a Patreon subscriber or Apple subscriber, like what would you, want more of? Like, what's something that you think would be cool to kind of have? Obviously within reason. Don't get crazy. I'm only one man. But yeah, let me know something that seems to pique your interest. And you can subscribe on YouTube. I'm bringing out more YouTube videos coming around to that, because apparently some people like looking at my face. What is that about? And the book is still available. Yeah, I got something else coming out for you guys that you might enjoy. And what else? Coaching is available too, guys. Yeah, some people have asked, coaching is still available, and will be available. It's just a matter of like, signing up and seeing what the availability is. So if you're looking for mental health coaching, the way I like to do it and start off is 4 sessions for a month. So it's 1 session a week. We work through some things, we establish some goals, and we go from there. But we start to lay the groundwork for your healing. And, I know healing can be very broad, but I like to be a little bit more specific. And we talk through some stuff. You get homework. I hold you accountable, right? Because the goal as your coach is to not just listen to you talk. Now we got to walk it, right? You say you want to heal. You say you want to do better. All right, cool. Here's some tools. Let's do this shit. All right. So if you want to sign up for coaching, the link is also in the bio as well. And if you have any questions, you can hit me up at thebirdbrainpodcast@gmail.com. That's thebirdbrainpodcast@gmail.com. Subject headline coaching. And there's something I'm forgetting. I always love that because it's that whole did I leave the stove on kind of vibe. And it'll drive me crazy for a little while, but you guys got this. In the meantime, yes, just wanted to pop in with you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. Hope you guys are drinking water. All right. And we will talk soon. All right. Take flight.